So you're thinking about moving to Brooklyn Heights, Brooklyn, New York, but you don't know much about the area yet, so you're trying to get to know it some more. Well, in today's episode, we're going to look at real estate. If you haven't seen our other episode, touring the neighborhood, I'll link that down below so you can go check it out later. But today we're going to be talking all about real estate, looking at some specifically closed deals that closed recently in the last 30 or so days. So without further ado, let's get into the video and discover Brooklyn Heights, New York. Hey, if this is your first visit to the channel and you're looking to learn all about the communities within commuting distance to Midtown Manhattan, then subscribe below and tap the notification bell so you can be the first to hear about the current market here in New York. Hey, I'm Jeff Massey, your local real estate broker, and I get calls every day from people just like you who are thinking about moving to one of New York City's amazing communities. So whether you're moving in 7 days or 7 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email so we can help you make an easy, stress-free purchase in the New York City area. So as I was saying at the top, this is our second big video of Brooklyn Heights. I did another one where we tour all over, talk about the neighborhood, talk about its history specifically. But in this video, we're gonna look at some real estate closings to give you a flavor of what things go for here. And it's a big spectrum. We've got things for a couple $100,000 up to almost $10 million. So stick around to the end so you can see that. Without further ado, let's get into the video and check out what's going on in recent sales for Brooklyn Heights, Brooklyn, New York. So here we are at our first location. This is 155 Henry Street. Now apartment 7B here just closed in the last month or so. This was the least expensive apartment. There's actually one that was slightly cheaper, but I didn't include that one just because the data was a little weird. But this one I'm including at $369. That was originally listed at $399, 158 days on the market, which works out to a sale to list price ratio of 92%. Like I said, it's a studio co-op. This is a co-op building, $518 per month for maintenance. So that includes your taxes and your expenses. Beautiful building though, you can see all the detail here. There's this beautiful ribbons on the base with this orange terracotta and then 5 rows of bricks. Some of them have these really pretty headers sticking out. Very detailed on the top with these crests and cool little arches. So interesting property here, and like I said, least expensive. Now one thing to keep in mind with some of these lower end buildings in an area, when I say lower end I mean less expensive properties, in an area like Brooklyn Heights that is known for high prices, is you have to keep in mind whether or not these co-ops are on a land lease. Now I don't know specifically because I didn't have time to look up this building, but some buildings in this area can be on land leases, which is going to significantly reduce the value of the property. So something to keep in mind when you're looking at properties to purchase. All right, let's move on to the next one. So this next listing is again in the median price point for $924, and it's a 2-bed 1-bath. It was at 60 Court Street. Now 60 Court Street is a funny building because there's actually 2 buildings attached, and I'm going to show you the B-roll. I don't want to film in front of there because it's really noisy, but it's so Court Street's a much busier street, but you're really close to the train, so you have that nice amenity. And this again 2-bed 1-bath sold for $899, so we're kind of like bordering that median price point that I was talking about. The list price was $995, so these guys got a really good deal. 193 days on the market, and the sale to list price ratio was 90%. This one's a condo, so it had about $1,115 per square foot. The common charges were $1,100 a month, and the real estate taxes were just under $700 a month. Apartment 4F, if you want to check it out. But it just gives you sort of a flavor of the neighborhood in terms of like you got those beautiful old buildings with the co-ops, and then this one's a condo. You're closer to the downtown transit options, but you do have not as pretty of a block, let's say, but you have access to those blocks because you can just walk down the street and be on a beautiful block like this. So that's 60 Court, another interesting comp for you to take a look for Brooklyn Heights. All right, so we just arrived at our next closed sale, and this again was in the median price point, which again was around 924,000. This is 150 Joralemon Street. It's a beautiful building. It almost has details, a lot of terracotta, similar to the Woolworth building downtown Manhattan. This is a co-op, very popular building. There's a lot of units in this building. You see them on the market a lot. So this particular sale was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. The maintenance was $14.94 per month. And it was apartment 10A, if I haven't mentioned that already. So the sale price was $949. The list price was $970. 116 days on the market. So that works out to a sale to list price ratio of 98%. So very tight in this particular example. And again, beautiful building. You get a lot of corner units that look east and north, and just in general, beautiful spot, nice big lobby, and a great place to call home. All right, so we've gone from FedEx and now we're at UPS. Just kidding. So we've moved on to our next spot. This is falling into the average price point for Brooklyn Heights. I can't remember the exact average. It was around 2 million. So this one sold for 2.275 million. This is 2 Grace Court. It's almost has some funny details, kind of like paying homage to Hampton Court in England. I'm not sure if that's directly true, but you can see some of the details. It makes you think about it. Sort of that Tudor style in a brick format. But this was a 3-bed, 2-bath co-op. The maintenance is about $3,200 per month. And this is actually a duplex unit that sold in this building recently. It was 2Y, 3Y. So you had a staircase in between the units, which made for that nice 3-bed setup. Now, the list price was $2.3 million, and it was on the market for 41 days. So this one went quicker than the average that we've seen in today's videos. The sale to list price ratio was 99%, so very spot on here. I know this building has some great views south, depending on which side it faces. But again, really interesting historic building on Grace Court here. We're at the end of a cul-de-sac, right against the BQE. Unfortunately, this spot doesn't connect onto the Brooklyn Promenade. A couple blocks over, you can certainly get access. But very interesting building, old co-op, and something definitely to think about as an interesting price point for the average. So let's keep going and see the most expensive. All right, so we just arrived at our last stop. It's actually a little bit down the block. I don't want to get too close because, you know, sometimes there's people home. But this is 33 Garden Place. Now, I've shown Garden Place on the channel before in the form of a short. It's one of my favorite blocks in Brooklyn Heights. It's this really cute one. It only spans 1 block, and it's super quaint. Lots of different styles. You've got brownstones, limestones, brick townhouses, even some weird Tudor stuff. Lots of different things, even apartment buildings. But 33 Garden Place was our highest, and it was originally listed for $9,750, so $9.750 million, and it sold for $9.2 million. It was on the market for 241 days. These higher price listings do take a while to sell, because if you think about it, there's not as many people that can afford that price range. Now, there was one that was slightly higher. I'm gonna leave that as a bonus at the end. We'll just walk by it really quick. It was about 9.4, but that's a corner unit. This was a mid-block unit, 5,500 square feet, 6 beds, 3.5 baths, and the real estate taxes per month was around $2,600 per month. Like I said, it was 241 days on the market, and the sale to list price was 94%. So you can see in those higher priced homes a little bit more marginal gain, and something to consider in terms of what can be achieved. Right, so as you can see with those higher priced homes, a little bit more negotiability, but still like pretty rock solid. I mean, 94% is not anything to shake your head at. You know, there's definitely things out there that could be going for a lot less. So hats off to them for achieving that successful sale. All right, so we just reached our last one. This is our bonus one that I didn't tell you about until just a minute ago. But this is 149 Clinton Street. This was the most expensive sale in the last 30 to 40 days. Sold for 9.4 million. It's a 5-bed, 5-bath, 4,400 square foot townhouse. Not sure about the monthly taxes. I'll put that down below once I'm editing, but looks like they're doing some work to the building. Looks like some work on the lower level in the basement. So interesting to see what's going on there. But beautiful corner spot in Brooklyn Heights. You're 2 blocks from Atlantic and you're 1 block from Court. And you just kind of get a little bit of everything because you're close to Cobble Hill, you're close to downtown Brooklyn. And Clinton Street is an amazing spot. You can see beautiful townhouses, brownstones, brick buildings, just gorgeous stuff. We're right down the street from 150 Joralemon where we started, or where we stopped by earlier. And here you go, really beautiful bay window popping out. And you actually have a side entrance because you're on the corner. So this one also, interestingly enough, has a garage space. So that's actually very nice. If you're, you know, you can afford that, you can probably afford a nice car to go with it. So nice to have that. So I hope you enjoyed our tour of Brooklyn Heights today. A little bit different, looking at comps, seeing what things have sold recently. Also looking at size differential. You can tell obviously townhouse versus a studio is going to go for a lot different of a price point, but I just thought I'd add to my Brooklyn Heights video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it down below so you can get a sense more for the area. But I love this area because it's so rich in different sort of institutions. You've got the promenade, but you've also got amazing looking polychromatic architecture like this behind me. This is part of the school actually, and just really pretty stuff. Then you've got like little funky Art Deco buildings like this across the street. So it's just a mix, but it's also got that historic nature to it. Just everywhere you're looking, just beautiful details that have been well preserved, because as you'll see in that other video, this is the first landmark district in New York City. Hey, so I hope you enjoyed the tour today. I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions, let us know down below, or feel free to reach out to us directly. We'd love to help. As always, we've got a link down below so you can schedule a chat with us so we can strategize more about what you're looking to do. But thank you for letting me into your home, and I hope that together we can help you find your next one. In the meantime, we'll see you in the next video.